Hey guys, welcome back. This is Jury Rig Garage. I'm Davis, this is Tristan here. Today we're going to be hopefully finishing up with the electric power steering swap as well as the 8-rib belt conversion. So last video I got the 8-rib belt conversion basically completed. I just need to mess with some different size pulleys to get the preload where it needs to be, but it's drivable right now actually as is. Kind of last step, I just need to get this Race Car Industries harness in, so just power ground and relay power and then CAN bus positive negative, and then we'll be ready to actually test this out. I'm doing all this work to this car, guys, and it is actually for sale. So if you're interested and you're in the PNW area, Portland, Vancouver, I'm trying to sell this car, so if you are interested, hit us up in the business email. Tristan also has a built Ford T65E transmission for a Grand Prix for sale.
Yep, 99 to 02, it's performance built, so if you're interested, also email us. But Davis, you should go into some of the detail of the hell you went through.
The hell I went through, yeah. I kind of went over a little bit last video, but the AC compressor, which is buried under all this stuff here, you can see that guy right there. I accidentally broke the 8mm bolt off in there, so I'm actually going to hand the camera over to Tristan so I can kind of demonstrate the problem this causes. So this was the old pulley for the AC compressor, and this is just a pulley. It just spins, does not spin the input of the AC, doesn't do anything. It has this clutch with a spline on it that sits on the input, so when it's spinning there's a gap between it. There's a little 8mm bolt, and when you engage the AC, it pushes them together, which the pulley spinning now spins the input, which spins your AC compressor. Problem is, I broke the bolt off inside the input, so I would never have AC if I didn't fix it. So I tried extracting it, did not work. Next step was to just drill it out completely and retap it. It took forever to do, but I was able to do it. And I also didn't want to take out of the car. Also did not want to buy a new AC compressor. But if you guys run into a problem like this where you break off the bolt and you don't mind spending the extra money, just buy a GT 500 AC compressor, and it's a 10-rib, and it's just a direct bolt-on swap, and then you'll have 10 ribs instead of 8. So you can run it on an 8-rib setup as well. So yeah, that was great. I bought a new impact to take the crank off. I got a Milwaukee 600 foot-pounds, zipped that thing right off. So that's kind of where we're at there. I do need to buy either another 90mm pulley here, but it might actually come in contact. If we put more belt tension, it might make this belt touch this one. So
like that one did with this one.
Yeah, so I might just need a shorter belt, I don't know. But right now, like, it's not a lot of preload at all. It'll still run. I just won't go wet up and throttle with it yet until I get the belt fixed.
How many millimeters does that have to be, like,
so
offset?
You guys can see there's like the two lines there. That line and that line with no preload, they're straight. You can see it has like 1 or 2 mil of preload. This needs 15 to 20 millimeters of preload to be within range. That's safe. You won't shred a belt, because when you have a supercharged engine, there's a lot of force and tension on the crankshaft and the belt system, so you need a lot of preload to dampen that. Anyways, to overview this, I'll have links in the description to all the parts, but I got an 8-rib pulley from Department of Boost. 8-rib pulley from Department of Boost. This is a Denso, like 2010 plus alternator. The crank pulley is off of a Navigator. The AC compressor pulley is off Navigator. The pulleys are also from Navigator, so really cheap. Like, the difference in price between a 10-rib and 8-rib is actually pretty big, so that's why I went with an 8-rib, and I think it looks great, and I don't have to cut a rib off the belt anymore. I don't have to buy expensive 10-rib belts, and they just come in the length that I need, so it works great. Just have the green belt. The Fleet Runners, they're higher durability than the standard ones. Yeah, guys, we're gonna go ahead and start running this wiring. It's gonna be pretty simple. Just those two big connectors straight to it. We'll route it along the top of the steering rack. You can see right there, route up, and then we only need these two lines to go into the cab, the CAN bus and this little tap, fuse tap goes right in there. And then the power goes to the power side of the battery, which battery's out charging, and then we'll just put the ground right here, and we'll be able to start reassembling and hopefully take it on a drive.
Man, these are stiff wires, holy.
Yep, the wire harness is supposedly made with like military grade wiring, so should be really high quality and durable under the car, because it's gonna see a lot of, you know, water and stuff. Wow, does it only have one thing holding this fender in? Oh god, that's so dirty. You can see I already have a couple things ran for my controller, my quick shift controller. I should probably wire this, or wrap it better because it's just totally exposed. I'll do that once I route the new harness through, but basically it'll just come up and follow along just like this. I might even, yeah, have it route up, so it's not going to be in the wheel well. I'll have it route up through here. I'll remove the battery box. That way I can route those 2 wires just the same with all the other wires here through the grommet. That was an affirmative click. All right guys, I just got the power steering harness connected there, routed down, and then I had it come up right here. So it's this one right there, over, and then here's the power, and here is the ground. So I'll just connect it directly to the battery. And then I did have to remove the, or Tristan removed it, the battery tray. So I get under there, and then I routed it along this main harness, and I just wrapped it to clean it up and protect it. So we have the CAN plus and minus and that fuse tap going into the cabin. I don't know if my door is unlocked here. It is not, but it's in there. And basically we'll just tap into the fuse kick panel that's just in there, and then route it over to the driver's side and get it connected to the OBD2. Then once we have that spliced in, we can just go ahead and start putting everything back together, put the fan back in, tidy up some of the stuff, get the intake on, catch can, fire it up. Well, actually the car's out of gas completely. It's on E, like 0 miles to empty, so we'll have to go to the gas station, pick up some gas. Then we can take on a test drive. Well, I guess we need to do our alignment, but it's getting closer. All right, guys, dash is kind of pulled apart here. Real dark in here, but you can see the white wire. I'm gonna tidy up everything once I'm done. Right behind the Quick 6 computer here. Let me go ahead and take it out. Fuse panel right there. It's the top tap, that one right there, going to the 5-amp fuse. So that's the one I'm going to use on for switched power. And then down here, you're going to need to take off the panel that goes right below the steering wheel. So process for that, you have to take off your, I don't know even what you would call this, panel. Yep. Pop that off. Then you take off this trim piece that is next to your hood pop. And then you have to unbolt the top of your center console, so it's the 2 bolts back there. Lift it up over your e-brake and the shifter. Then you're able to pull off this trim panel that goes next to the radio. Just pull that out. Then you need to kind of pull off the gauge cluster, 2 7mm bolts on the bottom, and then you're able to remove this part. So kind of like a whole process. Sorry I didn't show you, but I mean, that should cover it basically. Some electrical connectors to disconnect. And then you have the OBD2 where you get the CAN connection. So the CAN connection that we're gonna focus on is CAN plus and minus, which is right above where my finger is. I'll have just like a diagram of it. On mine, it looks like a green and yellow wire, and then a red and green wire. I am colorblind though, so don't quote me on that. You're gonna have to look at it yourself. I'm gonna go ahead and cut these wires and then splice in this. So the white and purple is CAN plus and the white wire is CAN negative. I'll basically route this up over here, splice it in, get it connected. I might connect the battery and just check and move the wheel, see how that works, but
it just doesn't move.
Yeah. Even without power, like if I were just to run it without wiring it, it would just be as if there's no power steering.
Oh yeah, so it'd just be manual. Okay.
Yeah, it's not like you're driving on the highway and for whatever reason a wire gets disconnected and you have no steering.
Your steering wheel's locked.
That'd be pretty messed up. But I've never heard about that happening on
yeah.
I do see some videos or TikToks of like, you know, have you ever seen like a steering wheel just go like a million miles per hour?
Yep. Like a mechanic in a mechanic shop.
Yeah. I hope that never happens.
Like, what causes that? I've seen videos of it.
Must
like,
be electric power steering. I don't know.
Well, Davis.
Hopefully that doesn't happen.
You sure didn't have it.
Yeah, but we're getting that much closer to finishing up with this. It's all real tidy. I want to put it back together and get it started, you know? All right, guys, just finished up with the CAN wiring and put the whole interior back together. I have the main power going to the fuse box and the ground going to the strut tower here, as that's what they'd recommend. You could do it right off the battery, but, you know, just depends on how you route it. I'm going to go ahead and reconnect. Shut the f up, freaking crow. Gonna go ahead and reconnect the battery here.
I'm gonna shock yourself.
All right, so basically the power steering should be wired up. I'm actually gonna go turn on the accessories. I'm not gonna start the engine just yet, and that should give me power steering. I mean, there's no way to really test. I think even in the air, it's not that hard to move it.
There's like no resistance, so.
Go ahead, Tristan, hold the wheels. I mean, it feels normal. There's nothing really to do here. Fuel level low, no. All right, well, there's only one way really to find out, so I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna put everything back together. I just have to wire back up the oil pressure gauge and put the fan in, get everything kind of up and out of the way.
Get the wheels on.
Deal with the belt tension later. We do need to run and get gas, and also just a bigger pulley.
The wheel liner.
And yeah, some stuff to put back together, but very close to being done here.
Oh, so you just cut the line.
Yeah, and then we'll pull it up from the top.
So Davis is being a perfectionist.
Well, perfectionist would be taking the time to do everything right.
Yeah, these two lines that went to the power steering right here and here. He really doesn't want them here. And instead of terminating them just right there, he wanted to remove the whole thing. But now that's actually more difficult with his heat exchanger in there, so that wasn't an easy option.
I'd have to take apart pretty much everything.
Right, it's like, why bother?
The whole front end,
your bumper, which is a pain. He just cut the lines down there where he had access to it.
Just get some.
So at least the ones in the engine bay are leaving. But yeah, so he cut them down there. I don't know if you can see that.
You won't even see it anymore. Like,
oh, I can kind of see it in the video, but just barely.
And then this side, it doesn't come, through anywhere. So
yeah, I'll see it. Yep.
Not a problem.
Now take that hand, go get some more chips.
You gotta eat some Lay's.
We just got some of these. Definitely make sure to get some power steering fluid in the Funyuns. They taste really good, actually. Like they're not as Funyun-y as like I was hoping, but they taste good. They taste like Funyuns.
Super good.
Yep. Lay's, please sponsor us.
Dude, yeah. Yep. So we're getting real close to just put everything back together. I just wanted to clean that up because I didn't want just the line sitting there in the engine bay. With a cut now, I might be able to pull out more. I don't know. It's probably fine as is, just to leave.
Yeah. I mean, no one will ever see it.
Yeah. So guys, we're gonna go ahead and just put the fans in, bolt everything back together, and go grab some gasoline and see how it goes.
All right.
All right, guys, we're just about ready to put the wheels on and do the driveway alignment here. So we have everything all back in place. We have these all bolted up. I'm glad I didn't have to drain them because that would have been a whole other process. Got the catch can in here. Belt system's all good, other than needing a shorter belt or a different pulley here, but it'll be fine to drive. Everything all wired in and secure. Fender liner in, so we're gonna go ahead and put the wheels on and then put the car on the ground. And we're gonna go ahead and do the driveway alignment. All right, guys, here is how you do a driveway alignment. Basically get 2 jack stands, run a piece of twine between it, square up the rear because the rear is supposed to be static and have 0 toe or whatever it's called. Then you bring it up here, you check with a tape measure. So that's about a 1/4 inch. And this one is basically right on. So you're going to push some length out of this thing until it's equal on both sides, then repeat it on the other side. So if you need to do like a quick alignment, something like this is just super easy and you can do it pretty much on any car. I'd still recommend taking it to alignment shop, but this will get you down the road and you can even drive on it, which I'm planning on driving on this for at least a little bit. Do plan on taking it to alignment shop.
Oh.
That's why I was running so badly.
Yep, that makes sense.
And it's starting to rain.
It's tucked under it, yep.
Starting to rain, good old Washington.
Putting the MAF back in, now it should run good. Yep, it was literally sunny just a little bit ago. No, it's not. Ah, there we go. Oh yeah, that power steering's working for him. That works, huh?
Yep. You can turn the wheel with the pinky.
Oh, nice. That's actually really cool.
The belt hasn't exploded, or caught fire. So I think the 8-rib belt swap is good.
Hasn't exploded yet.
I mean, it seems fine.
Does seem fine.
No more power steering.
No more power steering, yep. I mean, it's all worth it just to get that belt smaller.
Yeah, That was one of the biggest things. Yeah, go ahead and feel it.
That is pretty nice. Oh yeah. Like honestly,
all electric.
It doesn't feel like it's just standing still.
Yeah.
This feels like if you're actually making a turn. Feels good.
Yeah. Does it clean up? It's starting to rain.
Yep. All right. Well, we'll clean up. Does it feel any different just turning it on flat ground than the?
It feels identical to the normal hydraulic power steering.
Yep. Okay. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna clean up because, like I said, rain. Then we're gonna get some gas for the Mustang, probably.
I feel like we could be done for now. I mean, we'd have to adjust the. Well, maybe. Let's run to the gas station, come back, see what the rain situation's like. If it's still raining, I don't think we're gonna take it on a drive.
Okay, that's fine.
And I can just get the alignment dialed the next couple days.
Yeah.
And seeing how the wheel wasn't straight, I feel like we'll have enough threads on the tie rods. That was one problem we were having. Was we maxed out the tie rods like the nut was literally at the end of the threads. So.
But now that it actually straightened out and it's off, we can undo that and get, you know, more out of it, like he was saying.
It'll be close, but we definitely have enough.
Yeah,
we should have enough adjustment. And worst case scenario, I think I just buy different tie rods, inner tie rods, and
yeah, if you have to,
or cut the nut in half, find a lower profile nut.
All right, guys. Well, like we said, we're gonna clean up the rain. We're gonna fight that now, so we'll be back.
All right, guys, we're back. It stopped raining, and we continued with the driveway alignment. We had this really weird problem, which I've not experienced before, but when doing this, at least on hydraulic power steering cars, but we would make the adjustments, and then the wheel would turn itself. So I don't know what that's about. I've never really had that. Basically, when you're doing the alignment, you're just shortening the rod. You know, like you're spinning the rod, the inner tie rod, to thread or unthread the outer tie rod, which pushes the front of the wheel in and out. So don't know why that was affecting the steering. So Tristan had to sit in there and hold it, and then when I made the adjustments, he'd let go, the wheel would move, and you had to move it back in place, and it was just back and forth. This one definitely seems like it's not perfect, but it is what it is. This one I think is probably good. But we're going to go ahead and take it on a quick test drive. The wheels are relatively straight. I would say probably within a degree or two. All right, let's see how this does. Actually drives pretty straight. Damn. And it feels like I have power steering. I mean, it's not...
Yeah, you would know. At this point, you would know.
With 275 front wheels.
It's going to be impossible to hold the camera straight, bud.
Yep. It's just the tune when it's
damn
cold. Once it warms up, it'll be better. I think maybe it's just a messed up throttle body. I do have the new throttle body from the other motor. I can actually throw on just to test, you know.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, you have quite a few parts now.
It literally feels normal, guys. No difference at all. Yeah, it definitely pulls to the right.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, the alignment. So
how badly?
Well, let me get. This road's so bad too.
It is so bad. It's a bad judge.
I have to pull to the left a little bit, but if I let go, I mean we're going pretty straight. If you want to point the camera forward, no, we're not. See, we're going.
Oh
right
boy.
That's fine. I mean, just to drive, I just have to hold it a little crooked.
I had to do that with the Camaro.
Yeah. Once we get the alignment done, I'll just schedule with Carl's alignment. Drop it off, and they should be able to do that. Next time I wanted to get alignment, I wanted to have the strut tower mounts. It's like the Maximum Motorsports camber plates, because to get my alignment perfect, they need it for the extra adjustment.
How much are those?
They're pretty expensive, unfortunately. They're like 300 bucks. But yeah, I mean, we cruised at 40. It seemed just fine. No issues here. No crazy noises. My steering wheel isn't like spinning at a million miles an hour. Yep. I don't know what I was expecting. This is like not very exciting driving. Just like, yep, it feels the same steering wise.
Yep, getting gas down the street feels the same. Oh, pulls a little to the right. Are you telling me this is not the best video we've ever made?
You know, I think it's cool.
You can't tell me it's not.
8-rib belt swap, electric power steering, you know.
Yeah, we're making a stop at the gas station. That's very exciting too.
Yep.
Never have we done that before.
Never. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get some gas, and I guess we'll go back. I really wanted to do some wide open throttle pulls, but I don't got the belt, so. All right, guys, we just picked up some gas, so we're all topped off now. One thing that I just now realized and we both didn't think about, because it's not present, there's no more belt squeak. So that's exactly the only reason I did this whole swap, is because I wanted to fix that belt squeak in the most expensive way possible. So,
Damn, yep.
So electric power steering swap, 8-rib conversion, replaced basically all the parts. So literally every pulley was replaced, and the belt. Yeah, right here, this is exactly what I want, guys. Like, just wide open throttle. I just want to do it, but I'm gonna resist.
Yeah, wet roads, and then belt not being where it needs to be.
I think I'm going 60. It definitely stiffens it up. So it's like variable speed. So the faster you're going, the stiffer the steering is. So there's more resistance. So it's not like it's going to be full force, like turning, you know, when you're going 60 miles an hour. When you're going low speeds, you need a bit more, like, you know, power to the power steering. So
we have reached Jury Rig HQ, guys.
Yep.
Safe and sound. We're not dead.
Yep, car did not.
An improvement.
Car did not explode. And I mean, just look how easy this is. Electric power steering.
Yeah, it's quite nice. I think it'll be a good selling feature for the Mustang.
Yep, for sale. Oh, the AC was on. I wonder if that's going. Here, we should actually check and see if the AC works. Cold air. Perfect. That's awesome. Because that was one of my concerns, is the bolt I tapped in there was not like that great of a tap. So I was hoping it actually was snug in there, and
it was.
You know. Nice. But all the pulleys are still there. Yep, that'll do it.
She did it.
Yeah, belt tension. Yeah, maybe 1 mil. It needs to be.
Yeah, there's almost no tension on that tensioner.
Yeah, so I think no matter what, even if I got a 90 mil pulley for this one, it wouldn't be enough tension still. I think I just need a shorter belt.
Damn.
Which would suck because this belt was expensive. But I can keep it as a spare. I know it'll work. I might play around with the 90 mil and just see how that does. It'll be good just to have a variety of 80 mil or 8-rib pulleys, just in case I need to, you know, do something. I always keep a bunch of spare pulleys and belts in my trunk because, you know, on a supercharged car, if you fling a belt, you know, then you're kind of screwed. But everything worked. Alternator's charging. Everything's all aligned. We didn't hear anything crazy. I'm looking at the belts. It's not like anything is close to touching, you know, anything that might hurt it. It's all good. The navigator crank worked. Crank pulley. The AC worked. All around huge success, I think. And it's just nice to have electric power steering. Frees up all this room. I can even just reach my oil filter now.
That's pretty cool.
Take it off from up here.
Improvement.
All right, guys. Well, that will do it. Thanks for watching. You know, the three-part series on getting this thing done. It was not that much work. So if you guys have a 05 to 09 Mustang and you want to put an electric power steering rack, just buy one from a junkyard or online. I bought the power steering rack for $250. The wiring harness was, I think, $200, $250. And if you just wanted to stop there and not do the 8-rib conversion, or if you're not even supercharged, like, you don't even need to worry about that, just keep the stock 6-rib setup, and there you go. Literally just need a shorter belt. And you can do this for very cheap, like $500 for electric power steering. And the 8-rib setup was a bit more expensive because you need some custom things like my supercharger pulley and alternator, but that's kind of par for the course if you're, you know, in this realm where you're boosting your Mustang.
Seems like a good deal, though. And
I'll have all the parts in the description with the spreadsheet. So if you guys want to replicate this, you can certainly do that. There's also a lot of information on the Department Boost Facebook page. But yeah, that's going to do it. If you want to support the channel, join us as a member down below. Helps fund all this. We have the Mustang itself for sale. So if you're in the area and interested, I just did all this work for this car, and I'm putting it up for sale. Tristan also has a Ford T65E built transmission for a Grand Prix.
Yeah, it's a performance built, so it's got a bunch of ZZP components, 300M input shaft, stuff like that. If you're interested, inquire below.
But that's going to do it, guys. Be sure to subscribe, comment down below, leave a like, all that good stuff, and we'll see you next time.